Preloaders, welcome back. Always nice to have you guys here with me. Before I even get into this video, you guys know, as much as you guys are out there making a difference, practicing, becoming better, safer motorcycle riders, and in turn, having more fun riding the motorcycle, I love to hear about it, but I even more so love to see it. Check out this preloader. Okay, some of you may recognize this preloader. This is Anonymous Biker USA. And I say you may recognize him because he's also a YouTuber and he's also on Instagram. He does post some cool pictures on Instagram. Anyway, Anonymous Biker USA. He's from the northeast part of the country. He rides a 2019 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager. And he's been riding sports bikes for 6 years. And then he moved to the mid-size cruiser in 2017. And then finally he moved to a big bagger in 2019. And that's the motorcycle that he's riding right now. And when asked how he would rate himself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, he rated himself a 4. And as you can see, he's doing pretty good in these U-turns. You know, a couple of those U-turns are clearly 18 feet. And if he does go over 18 feet, it's not by much. So I want to give a shout out again to this preloader, Anonymous Biker USA. Keep practicing, keep up the good work, and keep putting out that great content on your channel, buddy. Love it, love it, love it. All right. For those of you that don't know what preloaders are, you're in Preloader Nation right now. Okay, so if you want to know how to be a preloader, check the description section. It'll let you know. But to make it easy for you, I do want you to check that description section. A lot of stuff in there that's going to be beneficial to you. But all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and be dedicated to being proficient in slow speed motorcycle operation. You got those two things together, bam, you're a preloader. All right. So for you guys that are not preloaders, and maybe it's the first time here, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a wonderful 22 years with the NYPD. 15 of those years were spent in the motorcycle unit. The name of my channel is called Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. And the purpose of this channel is, I'm going to say twofold. The first part is me sharing my knowledge, experience, and training that I received from the NYPD Highway Patrol Motorcycle Unit with you guys, with a special emphasis on slow speed motorcycle operation, because that's the aspect of riding a motorcycle that really will determine if you know how to ride your motorcycle. Okay? At speed, your motorcycle can ride pretty much without you. You don't need to really do much to keep it upright. But 15 miles per hour or less, in order for you to keep this motorcycle upright without putting your feet out, which you never want to do, it's dangerous. In order for you to do that, that's when you really have to put your skill into riding this motorcycle, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's why I focus on that. Also, 98% of the motorcycle riding community does not know how to ride like that. So it's important, okay? And that's why I focus on that. Secondly, I want to help you be the boss of your motorcycle. And all that simply means is you being in 100% control, and most importantly, having the confidence to do simple things like make a right turn and a left turn and U-turns, okay? The boss is not intimidated by this motorcycle. You are the boss of this motorcycle, or at least that's where I want you to be. And it's just going to open up a whole world of opportunities for you when you're out there riding. You're going to see things and look at things, and you're also going to look at other motorcycle riders much differently. So that's the goal. I also hold practice sessions on a weekly basis. It's free to my preloaders, and that's here in Pooler, Georgia. So if you're interested in coming out here and practicing with me, check the description section. The information for that is in there. There's also information in there on what a preloader is, what preload means, okay? If you guys want to donate to the channel, that's always highly appreciated. That information is in the description section as well. If you'd like to send me anything, the address is in there. The cone course dimensions are in there. The name of the cone course exercises that we do are in there. The link for merchandise is in there. So it's a lot of good stuff in there. All right, guys, please check that out. As I always say, I know you guys could be doing anything with your time, and the fact that you choose to spend a little bit of it with me it's always appreciated. Also, your donations are always appreciated as well. And that goes along with anything that you guys send me out of the kindness of your heart. The fact that you guys email me, you send me stuff on Instagram, Facebook, the comment section. So it's all appreciated. Thank you guys. And I'm never going to be a person that goes, oh, I'm not answering this or I'm not answering that. Who am I, right? I used to say that to cops I used to work with. We used to be in Times Square and we'd pull up in on our motorcycles and everything would stop and everybody wanted to come see us. And it's a lot of tourists in Times Square. So, oh, what a joy would it be for them to take a picture with a motorcycle cop. And then I'd have cops who are like, oh, I'm not taking a picture. And I would say the same thing to them all the time. Who are you? Just take a picture with the people. Come on. So I still have that same philosophy. This whole thing is humbling to me. I appreciate it all. But at the end of the day, who am I, right? All right. Okay, so you guys know that the bulk of this channel is always going to be about slow speed motorcycle operation and everything that encompasses. All right. But from time to time, I am going to share products with you guys that I feel will be beneficial to you. And some products are provided to me, some are not. So sometimes it'll be a video dedicated specifically to that product. And sometimes I'll just mention the product. Either way, the important thing to me is that if I think it's going to be beneficial to you guys, I want to share it with you. Okay? So in this video, I want to talk about my 2019 Road King Special, AKA equals first cousin, AKA my practice bike. Okay? And one of the things that it's missing that I need are highway pegs. All right? So important to me. So much so that every time I would get on this motorcycle, I would put my right foot up and it would just go down because I don't have any pegs. But the motorcycle pegs that I have on my CVO, these are KURYAKYN motorcycle pegs, and I actually did a video on these. All right, you can check this link right here. I'll also put a link in the description because if you have a smart TV, I'm not pointing at anything right now. I like them so much on my CVO that I decided to get the same ones for my Road King, but of course, instead of getting chrome, I got them in black. Okay, so these are the KURYAKYN pegs that I have. These are the Tortec short arm cruise mounts, and I like these a lot. So they have two different kind. You know, as I stated, KURYAKYN was nice enough to provide me with these. So they have two different kind. These are the kind that I have actually on my CVO, my Street Glide, and these are really for like a taller rider. And then they also have these. This is a Tortec long arm cruise mount, and this is for like a shorter rider, so that they come closer to the rider. So I'm not going to be using these, but I will be using these. And again, I want to thank KURYAKYN for providing them to me. All right, so in the video that I did do about these prior, one of the things that really stood out to me, because I had some other highway pegs on my CVO that I got from Amazon, and the stark contrast of the Amazon pegs versus these KURYAKYN pegs, that was a prime example of you get what you pay for. So, you know, enough talk. Let's get them out of the box. Let's get them on the motorcycle. Let's see how they look. All right, guys, let's get this open. All right, that's all that's in the box. So we got instructions. It comes with the little screws that they want you to use, and that's how you make adjustments to the actual foot peg. And obviously this is the stuff that you put on it to, you know, give it some grip. Ah, and there's the peg. That's actually the bottom side of it. That's the front. That's a nice looking highway peg. Nice looking highway peg. Ah, yes. Okay. Left side, right side. All right, guys, so that's it. There's not much to it. Of course, I'll take the instructions out. I'll look at them. You know, I'm learning. Stop trying to just do stuff and look at it. This is pretty self-explanatory, especially since I've done it before. But I'll go through the process with you guys. let's get it on the motorcycle. I'm also going to take you guys through that as well and show you how I do it. And that's it. All right, let's go to it. All right, guys, so the first thing I did wrong with my CVO when I first put those KURYAKYN highway pegs on is I put them too low. And that's why the edge of them is all scraped up from me making turns. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the pictures that I have of me making turns, you can see that highway peg is probably just off the ground, if not touching it. All right, so I've learned from that. So I actually moved them up on the CVO. And now when I put these on, I'm going to make sure they're high enough. So the process I use with this is I put the motorcycle on the jack just so that it's straight up and it's even. And then I kind of make a blind eye determination of how high I want the highway peg. And I'll take a piece of blue tape and I'll put it on the engine guard. And I'll actually take the highway peg and kind of eyeball where I think I want it. And of course, this is something that you have to play around with. You know, put it on, tighten it up, get on the motorcycle, see if it feels comfortable in that location, you know, and just keep going until you find the spot that you want it at. So once I find the spot that I want it at, I'll move the tape back to that location. And then I take a measuring tape and I measure from the floor to the bottom of the blue tape. And whatever that number is, I just do the same thing on the other side. All right, and there's no rocket science behind that. You know, if this is off like a quarter of an inch or less than that, you know, maybe less than a quarter of an inch, but it's not that big a deal. That's my point. You know, but I want to get it as close as possible to being even visually and obviously the way it's going to feel. Okay, so all right, let me start doing that, measuring stuff up, tighten it up, see where I want it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so these are the only tools that you're going to need to install this highway peg. Okay, this Allen wrench right here, and you're going to use that for this screw right here. And this is the main one that's going to attach this highway peg to the engine guard. So you want to make that as tight as possible. And what this also does, what this screw also does is if you loosen it, it allows you to move this part of the highway peg up or down. Okay, so once you get this where you exactly want it, up or down, then you tighten the whole thing in. Then you have this Allen wrench. This Allen wrench is actually used on this part of the highway peg. And lastly, you have this teeny weeny one. And this teeny weeny one is used for this little set screw. And that set screw is inserted right here into this hole. And that's going to determine where you want this thing to sit when you put it down. So if you want it to go right here, you'd screw it in or out to set it there. You can see this thing will drop all the way down here. Probably don't want it that low, but you kind of want it either even or a little up. That's what that set screw will do. So as far as tightening this screw right here that I was talking about, that screw is going to determine, you see here you have D-rings, a D-ring right there. So you want to squeeze this in so that way when you put the highway peg up, it'll stay up. And that's the problem I did with my CVO. I wasn't aware of that, and the pegs kept falling down, you know, all the way. And that's why you always saw them down. And I didn't realize, just tighten it, Rob. All right, so let me get this tightened up and then get on the motorcycle, see how it feels in this position and whether I need to move it up or down. And like I said, once I do that, I'll know exactly where I want it, and then it's a lot easier on the other side. Okay, so I installed the set screw. So there's a hole at the top and at the bottom for the set screw, depending on how you want this peg to land. So I put it on the bottom one because I'm trying to control how far I want it to go down. So right now I have it so that when the highway peg is up, when it comes down, it stops right there. If I want to flatten it more, I just have to turn the screw either one way or the other. All right, so I still haven't tightened everything all the way. So I'm going to sit on the motorcycle. I can do that while it's on the jack. There's no problem. And I'm going to put light pressure on it because, again, I haven't tightened everything. And let me just see how it feels. Okay. Okay, so now that's actually too close for me. I need my foot out a little more. So now I also have to keep in mind that on my CVO, I actually purchased a seat that pushes me back 2 inches. So this seat has me a little closer. So I'm gonna have to actually do things a little bit differently with this highway peg than I did on my street glide. So all right, let me make the adjustments. I do have a new seat coming for this motorcycle as well, guys. Of course, I'm taking you for the ride on that. All right, so I tightened it back up. I made the adjustments. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to readjust it once I get the new seat. I also tightened it so that this, so when I fold it up, it actually has some resistance so it'll stay up. Okay. And I have to keep in mind that this is my practice bike, so I'm gonna have my feet on the highway pegs for a minimal amount of time, riding to where I practice or riding wherever. I would never take this motorcycle on a long distance ride. That's what the street glide's for. And you guys know I can't do long distance rides anyway because of my hips. So, but all right, I'm satisfied with the location of this. And you know, guys, we're always looking at stuff for two different, well, at least I do. I want it to be practical, but I still want it to look good. And with it folded up, it looks good. And with it extended, it looks good. So, all right, just got to do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, so I measured from the floor to the bottom of the bracket on that highway peg, and it was 17 3/4 inches. I did the same measurement over here, and the blue tape represents the same as the bracket, so the top of the blue tape, 17 3/4 inches. And now I know where to start with this highway peg. And once I get it on the bar, then I'll configure the other part of it, looking at how I have it so that it goes like this and then down just a tad. You know, and the hardest part about this, none of this is hard, but I'm a perfectionist, so I want it to be as close as possible to the way the other one is. All right. Okay, so let me get this on. All right, guys, so I'm finished with this side. So let's see what we got. Let's see how it feels. I always look at it from the back of the motorcycle as well. It looks even, or even enough to me, I'll say that. All right. Now I rarely ride a motorcycle with both my feet on both highway pegs. Usually I just put my right foot on the highway peg. And again, that's a hip thing. Having my legs spread out even further causes me discomfort. But I like the way these pegs feel. I like the way they look. Now the screws that are on the sides of these highway pegs, those are to adjust how you want them to sit, either flat or you can tilt them up. I like to keep them tilted up a little bit so when my foot's on it, it's on it kind of flush. When the heel of my foot's on it, it's flush instead of it. That's why I don't like the pegs that are actual pegs. This is almost like a highway floorboard type of thing. Technically it's a peg. But that's why I don't like those rounded ones, because if you're like that for a while, usually if you're wearing a boot, you're probably not going to feel anything anyway. But I like the feel. I like a substantial feel under my foot, and that's what I get with these type of highway pegs, and with them facing kind of upward towards me. All right, guys. So let me just let you guys see what they look like from the back of the motorcycle. Okay, so looks good to me. It looks good from the front to me. And if I fold them in, which again, I'll never be riding with them folded in, but yeah, I'll find out at my next practice session if I put these highway pegs high enough. And you know, they always look high enough, and then when I put them out, they still look high enough. And then when I start turning the motorcycle, I look down and I'm like, whoa. You know, I might have to put them even higher, but these should be high enough, especially since this Road King is a little lower than my Street Glide. So this thing is scraping like right away. So, but I'll let you guys know at some point if I needed to move them or if they're fine. All right, guys. So again, I want to thank KURYAKYN for providing me with these highway pegs. I mean, I really liked them. I really liked them. That's why I wanted to make sure I had both of the same kind on both my motorcycles. Obviously, one chrome and one black. All right, so guys, if this video helped you out, if you liked it in any way, if you like any of my videos, hit that subscribe button, please. If you like this video in particular, hit the like button. All right, and if you want to be notified of future videos that I make, hit that notification bell and switch it to all. So I'm sure that you guys already know, I recommend this product. I highly recommend it because of the fit and finish of it. It's a quality product. And unlike the other highway peg that I had, if I try to move this foot, if I put all my weight on it with my foot, it's not going anywhere. And of course, that's what we want in a highway peg. Didn't matter how much I tightened that other highway peg that I had, it was never actually secure. So this is secure. It looks better also, and it feels good. So yes, highly recommended. I am going to put a link for this highway peg in the description section. And the long arm one, although I'm not using it, I'll put a link in the description for that as well. For you shorter riders, that might come in handy. But I will tell you guys that the other reason I didn't use those long armed ones on my CVO is because with the lower fairing, it wasn't working out. All right, so keep that in mind. If you have a lower fairing, your best bet is to get the kind that I have on here, which is the shorter armed one. All right, guys. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Always appreciate it. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. I want to send a special shout out to my brothers and sisters in blue. Please be careful out there. Know that we care about you. Okay. Special shout out to the NYPD Highway Patrol Motorcycle Unit, particularly Highway 1 because that's where I worked, and the Highway District Motorcycle School because that's where I learned how to ride this motorcycle the way I do. But the learning doesn't stop there, guys. As I always say, it's a perishable skill. You have to keep practicing. All right, so guys, preload, keep it loaded, practice, 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 preload, and keep it loaded. Until next time, guys.